right into this world all alone. God takes your soul, you're on your own.
So we begin the season after, let's say, a dynasty falls, a phoenix has risen.
As in Jax, yes. Yes. Okay, yes.
And we have a lot of people who are broken because of, losing statuses, losing friends, losing beliefs. Was that a plan when you came to the season to rebuild like a lot of people at once, as opposed to just a couple sporadic through the season?
Well, I think, it was my hope and intent to get Jax at that head of that table, to play that out for a couple seasons. And clearly Clay begins the season somewhat broken physically and emotionally. He took a bullet to the lung and lost the gavel and lost the woman he loved to a certain extent. So, we definitely see people coming to the table in a different state of mind. And then we get to play out this season with Jax to see what kind of leader will he become. I think the interesting thing for me this season is, can you, as much as Jax loathes Clay now, can you really be the head of an outlaw organization and not become Clay? Like, is being who Clay was part of the job? Do you need to be that devious? Do you need to be that Machiavellian? Do you need to be that dark and dangerous to run an outlaw organization successfully? And if you don't, are you then subject to being perceived as weak and end up, what happened with JT? So it's really balancing that. We've spent 4 seasons now filling Jax's plate with all these experiences, good and bad. So now every decision he's faced with, he's got the experience now to go, okay, now I have this coming up. What do I do this? Do I do this? Do I make that choice? Do I make that choice? And we'll see him make decisions. And like any leader, he'll make some good ones and he'll make some bad ones. And we'll get to kind of see where that leads him at the end of the season.
Can you talk about the begrudging mother and daughter between Gemma and Tara? Especially since both of them are so afraid of being left alone. Almost they're afraid that Jax will choose one road and everything else falls to the side.
Right.
Is that really how you want the characters to come into the season and how they fight over the new president and the new power?
Well, I think, first of all, I don't think it's linear. There's no straight lines this season. It's like, that dynamic between Gemma and Tara is very, it's like a mother and daughter, it ebbs and flows, and there's a lot of love, and then there's a lot of hate, and there's a lot of pushback. It's like, let me be my own person, but let me help you. So to me, it just feels very real. And so there's not a straight trajectory this season with Gemma and Tara. It's not like, they dislike each other and it grows in a straight line. It's like it'll start one way with Tara really trying to establish herself and Gemma trying to insert herself and Tara pushing back. And then all of a sudden Tara realizing she needs Gemma. And, so it feels like a very, I have a wife and a 16-year-old daughter at home and I'm in the middle of it, So I see it all. I know what it looks like, and I think we're trying to do that this season. So
now, with someone like Danny Trejo, we talked to him recently about Machete. Are we going to see any gun-toting action from Danny by chance?
Yeah, well, Danny's back for. I think Danny's back for. He's a busy fucking guy. He's doing Machete 3 and 4 and Death Run 5000, and he's like Mr. Assassin all of a sudden. But I think he's in like 3 or 4 episodes. We're going to continue that arc out with Romeo. It won't be as prevalent as it was last season, but it's established and it's there. And we'll see. I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes he's in this season. So he will not have a machete at any point, though.
Now, we've talked to a couple people about the Juice arc.
Right.
Tommy said he'll gladly put the bullet if it needs to come to it. He doesn't know what's going to happen, but he said he'll gladly put the bullet if he needs to.
Right.
Do we get any kind of closure or thought or that? Because not only does he caused some deaths, but Bobby's in jail. All these things now.
Right.
Is he just going to be self-hurting himself, or is he going to actually?
No, I think I think we'll continue to play out that juice arc. I think it really, for the most part, doesn't start to reveal itself till later on in the season. But that's like anything else in the show. Like none of that stuff happens in a vacuum. It's part of the mythology, and it'll find its way. It'll kind of work its way loose, and ultimately, come to play out in the second half of the season. So.
Theo looks too good sweating.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
sir.
buddy.
Pleasure.
Gotta look this world in the eye. I gotta live this life.